Your name came up in passing, but their reaction was anything but casual. It was as though they'd been waiting for this moment, and the truth they revealed left me speechless. When your name was mentioned, they froze, and I could sense something deep stirring within them. What they shared after that moment changed everything I thought I knew about their feelings. The conversation took a turn when your name came up, and their reaction surprised me. The emotions they had been holding back finally surfaced, and the truth they revealed was unexpected. I casually mentioned your name, thinking nothing of it, but their reaction spoke volumes. It was clear that they had been carrying unspoken feelings for you, and now they couldn't hide it any longer. When your name was brought up, the look on their face changed instantly. It was as if they had been waiting for an opportunity to express something they'd kept hidden for a long time. Your name slipped into the conversation, and their reaction caught me off guard. The depth of their feelings was something I never expected, and it was clear they had been holding back for too long. The moment your name came up, their whole demeanor shifted. What they said next was something I could tell had been weighing on them for a long time, and it completely changed the tone of the conversation. As soon as your name was mentioned, the room went quiet. Their reaction was intense, and the truth they revealed about how they feel about you left me stunned and questioning everything. When your name entered the conversation, I could see the hesitation in their eyes. It was as if they had been waiting for the right moment to reveal what they truly felt, and that moment had finally arrived. I didn't expect much when your name came up, but their reaction was anything but ordinary. What they said next made me realize how deeply they've been affected by your presence in their life. The conversation was casual until your name was mentioned, and then everything changed. Their reaction was so powerful, it was clear they'd been carrying a heavy emotional load that was finally released. When your name came up, their reaction was immediate and intense. It was clear they'd been holding something back for a long time, and now the truth was finally out in the open. Your name entered the conversation unexpectedly, and their response was overwhelming. What they revealed next showed just how much they've been hiding their feelings for you. As soon as your name came up, the atmosphere shifted. Their reaction was raw and emotional, and it was clear they had been carrying something they could no longer keep inside. I casually mentioned your name, but their reaction was anything but casual. The look on their face said it all, and what they revealed next changed everything I thought I knew. The conversation took an unexpected turn when your name came up, and their reaction was surprising. It was clear they'd been holding back their emotions for too long, and now it was all coming to the surface. When your name was mentioned, their reaction was immediate and powerful. What they shared next was something they'd been carrying for a long time, and it left me questioning everything. Your name wasn't supposed to be part of the conversation, but when it came up, their reaction was overwhelming. The truth they revealed was something they'd been hiding for far too long. As soon as your name entered the conversation, their reaction changed everything. It was clear they'd been thinking about you more than they'd ever let on, and now the truth was finally out. When your name came up, their response caught me off guard. It was clear they'd been hiding their true feelings, and now that the truth was out, There was no going back. Your name came up unexpectedly, and their reaction was intense. It was clear they had been carrying a heavy emotional burden, and now it was finally revealed. I didn't expect much when your name was mentioned, but their reaction surprised me. What they said next revealed feelings they'd been holding back for a long time. The moment your name came up, their demeanor shifted completely. What they revealed next was something they'd been keeping hidden for far too long, and now the truth was out. When your name entered the conversation, their reaction was powerful and emotional. It was clear they had been suppressing their feelings for a long time, and now the truth was finally revealed. I mentioned your name without thinking much of it, but their reaction told me everything I needed to know. It was clear they'd been carrying something inside, and now it was finally out. The conversation took an unexpected turn when your name came up, and their reaction was intense. What they revealed next showed just how deeply they'd been affected by their feelings for you. When your name came up, their expression shifted completely. It was as if they had been holding back something for a long time. The truth finally surfaced, and what they said next will stay with me forever. I never expected to hear your name in that conversation, but once it was mentioned, everything changed. The atmosphere shifted, and their eyes revealed a mixture of emotions I can't quite describe. Your name unexpectedly came up, and the reaction was not what I anticipated. It was almost like they had been waiting for the moment to reveal their true thoughts about you. As soon as your name was mentioned, their posture changed, and I could tell there was more beneath the surface. What they said next left me speechless and questioning everything. It wasn't planned, but your name slipped into the conversation. The way they paused and took a deep breath made me realize there was something much deeper they had been holding back. When they heard your name, they froze for a moment. It was as if time stood still, and the weight of unspoken feelings took over the room. What came next, no one expected. Your name wasn't supposed to come up, but once it did, their reaction spoke volumes. It was clear they've been thinking about you, and what they said might just change everything. I mentioned your name casually, not knowing it would stir such strong emotions. Their response caught me off guard, and now I can't stop thinking about the implications of what was said. As soon as your name was brought up, there was a silence that felt almost too heavy to bear. What they said after that silence shattered any doubt I had about their true feelings for you. The moment your name was spoken, everything shifted. Their reaction wasn't what I expected, and it left me wondering how much of what they feel for you has remained hidden all this time. I thought I knew how they felt about you, but the way they reacted when your name came up surprised me. There's something deeper here that I hadn't realized before. The conversation took an unexpected turn when your name was mentioned. Their eyes softened, and for the first time, I saw a vulnerability I hadn't noticed in them before. Your name wasn't meant to come up, but when it did, their response was like a window into their soul. What they revealed was something they had clearly been hiding for far too long. I thought I understood how they felt about you, but when your name came up, their reaction took me by surprise. It was more intense, more emotional than I ever imagined. The moment your name was mentioned, their whole demeanor changed. It was as if something they had been guarding so carefully suddenly slipped through, and I saw their true feelings. Your name came up unexpectedly, and their reaction was one of both surprise and relief. It was clear they had been holding back something for far too long, and now it was finally out. When your name was mentioned, the air in the room seemed to shift. Their reaction was a mixture of emotions I couldn't quite place, but one thing was clear. They've been thinking about you more than they let on. I didn't expect them to react the way they did when your name was brought up. It was almost as if they had been waiting for the right moment to speak the truth, and now they couldn't hold it back any longer. When your name came up, their expression said everything. It was like a veil had been lifted, and what they revealed next was something they'd kept hidden for far too long. Your name was mentioned in passing, but the effect it had was anything but casual. Their reaction was intense, revealing more than I ever thought they would about their feelings for you. As soon as your name entered the conversation, their eyes changed. It was as if they had been carrying the weight of something unspoken, and now it was finally out in the open. Your name wasn't supposed to come up, but once it did, their response was overwhelming. It was clear they had been holding something back, and now it was impossible to keep it hidden. When your name came up, it was like a switch flipped. Their reaction was so unexpected, so raw, that I knew immediately there was more to their feelings for you than they had ever let on. Your name was mentioned, and their reaction was a blend of surprise and something deeper, something they've been hiding all this time. What they said next left me stunned. As soon as your name was spoken, they hesitated, almost as if they were caught off guard by their own emotions. What followed was a confession that changed everything. When your name came up, I expected a casual response, but what I got was far from it. Their reaction revealed feelings they've been struggling to keep hidden for a long time.